Hi guys, it's Miss Bryant, and I wanted to go over the exit ticket that we did last week, and that is time to the nearest minute. Okay, so I wanted to do a little review. In second grade, you should have learned that the little hand here, this little guy is the hour hand, and this big one is the minute hand, and it tells you exactly what minute it is, okay? So right here is the minutes. I'm going to put M for minutes because you know how I cannot write with these things. And I'm going to put H for the hour. So whatever is red right here, it will go here for hour, and whatever is in purple here, it will go there for minute. So as a review, when we tell time, we are going to look at these numbers on the side, and we need to ask ourselves, what do they mean? Okay, so 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and so on. So when we're telling time, we actually count by fives, because in one whole minute, there is 60 seconds. So we're going to start here with 0. We're going to put 0, 0. Sorry, that looks so awful. But this would be 5. This would be 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 is the 8, 45, 50, oh my goodness, so sorry, and then 55, and then 60. Instead of writing 60, we write 0, 0 for that new hour. Okay, so if we take a look at this clock right here, we're going to start with our hours. Okay, and when we look at it, we say, okay, it looks like this hour hand is in between the 11 and 12. So when we look at our hours, we actually look at the numbers that we have here, okay, because there's 24 hours in a day. So since it is not past the 12, we can't say it's 12 o'clock yet because it hasn't actually reached 12. So if it's in between two different numbers, it's going to go to the one that it was before. So here we can say that it is 11 o'clock, okay? But now, what minute of 11 o'clock are we at? So this is where these fun numbers on the side are going to come in hand. And I always suggest to write these out when you're trying to tell time if you're still a little bit confused, because it's a big tool to help you remember, okay, which time goes with which number. So let's try to figure out the minutes here. We have our purple hand is going right to this little dot here, and I'm not sure if I can actually zoom in. Let me try to do that for you. Okay, I don't think it's going to actually zoom in. Oh, did it do it? No. Okay. Well, we will just try our best to get an exact amount. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. So we noticed that the purple line is in between the 35 and the 40. And we're not going to do it like we did with the hour number up here. We're actually going to count specifically the number that it is. Okay, so if 7 is 35, we're going to count each dot as 1. So 35, 36, 37, 38. I'm going to say that that line is going at the 38. Because if you did 2 more, 39 and 40, we're not quite there yet. So I would say that the time is 11:38. So hopefully that was a little bit helpful. We're going to go down to that next problem here. Again, let's take a look at our hour hand right here. And then we have our minute hand, which goes up here. So I'm not going to rewrite all these numbers again because my handwriting is awful with these tools, but we can just use this as a reference instead of having to write it out again. So like I said before, the hour goes here and the minute goes right here. So taking a look at the hour, we're going to use the number that it is directly on or in between. And so that number looks like it might be just slightly past the 7, but we can't go to the 8 because it's not quite there yet. So our hour is 7. And then our minute hand is really close to that 12. And if you remember, it's 0, 0. So we start at 0 and we're just going to go over one dot, it looks like here. So that would be from 0 to 1, that would be 7. And we wouldn't just write 1 because that doesn't look right. We're going to put 0, 1. So 7, and we sometimes say 7:01 as the time. Right, let's take a look at this last question here. Again, we're going to take our hour hand, which is the shorter one, and then our minute hand here. Okay. And then this is minutes, and this is hours. All right, so if we take a look at our hour hand, which we always want to start with, it's a little bit past the 12, and it's in between the 12 and the 1. So just like I said up here before, are we going to make this 1 o'clock? Ask yourself. No, because has it actually reached the 1 yet? No, so it's a little bit past 12. So we're going to say it's 12. And what minute past 12 is it? So if we look up at our reference up here, 12 is 0, so we're going to count by 5s. 0, 5, 10, 15. So we have 15 here, and then 20 down here. So it's not quite past 20, so we're going to count each exact minutes from 15, that 3 right there. So 15, 16, 17. We're going to stop right there. So I would say it's about 12:17, give or take. Now, if you did this exercise on Friday and you were off maybe a minute or two, that's okay because it is kind of hard to see, but ask yourself, was I off a lot or was I off a little bit? So my tips, again, and let me type this out for you. Write out the minutes, starting with 0, and then count by 5s. Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20. That's my first tip for you. My second tip for you is to start with the hour and then go on to the minutes. And my last tip for you is if the hour hand, the little one, is in between two numbers, the hour hand goes to the number before. So that example is right up here. If it's in between 11 and 12, it's not going to be the 12 because it hasn't passed that yet. So I hope that this helps a little bit with telling time. I'm going to make another video with elapsed time, and that's that trickier, those trickier problems where you have to see how many minutes have gone by. But please write this down, take notes, and use this as a reference when you are solving your problems.